How are you? What is up? This is Tim. I'm with you all the way till 3 p.m. Now, this is the buzz, and I'm updating you on everything business, tech, entrepreneurship, anything to do with numbers and the economy. There's a lot of fluctuations going on these days. Now, like I was talking about the rental market, the insurance market, if it is with travel, if it is with occupation or even work related conversations rather. So this is the buzz. I'm Tim. I'm your host on this show, and you can talk to us on 07852473473. And if you want, you can just get your advertisements on this page. You can just get in touch with me. It's just a matter of commenting, asking us anything you want to. You can DM us, even share these posts. I'd really appreciate if you could share this and just share your opinions rather, and just get a conversation going. This is your platform. We always encourage two-way conversation. And now we are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, SoundCloud, even YouTube. It's just a matter of you getting in touch and just letting us know what you want us to talk about, what your responses are to our conversations. Now I'm going to show you a real quick real quick video on what we do at Relaks. That's right. We are Relaks. We are on the App Store. You can download our app. You can reach us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, you name it. We're on it, right? So you can also, log into our website and then just just listen to the link on our website. Now, it's just a matter of communicating and letting us know what you want us to talk about, and we get the conversation going, right? Now, I was talking to you about how Tesco, and, Tesco is basically looking at being fined £7.5 million for the sale of outdated food. Now Tesco in Birmingham has basically been prosecuted by the Birmingham City Council, right? And this action has basically taken about 3 stores on several locations. Now these guys are being pleaded guilty on 22 offenses, and being totaled up to 67 separate items. Now, talking about 22 offenses, over 3 store, range, and, coming up to a cost of £95,000. This is not simple. I don't know what I would honestly be doing if I was the owner of Tesco. Again, I don't mean to, attack them or anything, but you need to care about your customers at the end of the day, right? Like we always talk about on the buzz, you need to update. You need to know what your customers want. And this is something simple. It's just a matter of understanding what your customers are. Just a matter of, keeping track with your expiry dates, right? Now, talking about how there's 22 offenses that these guys have been facing, and, they've been pleaded guilty, and, they are asked to pay a fine of £7.56 million and, £95,500 in costs. Now, the head of environmental health in Birmingham basically has spoken about this conversation, and he has said that there's been numerous missed opportunities to check the dates on these products and remove them from display. Now, the fact and ingredients were found on several locations, but in different stores over the last 14 months was a major concern. Now, with the story of the COVID story, with the lockdown, we know some of our stores are open. You could actually walk into the store and get them, but how reliable was the logistics on behind the curtain? How reliable was the organizing behind talking about how often they were switching their products, if it is food, if it is drinks? And then this is a conversation I think could carry on to not just England, but then not just Birmingham, right? But across the whole of UK, or even across the whole of the globe, right? So it doesn't have to be just Tesco. These guys might have gotten this, but who knows, how many other stores in different parts of the world have actually been doing this. Now these guys have been pleaded guilty, and talking about how the case basically wants for multiple retailers to ensure that their stock is up to date, and that they are not breaching any of these regulations. Now this is obvious, this is common sense, right? If you are selling food, you need to know all these things, because at the end of the day, are you going to shop at your own store? That is a question. Or that, are you going to buy your own product? This is a question anyone needs to ask themselves before they run a business, right? And talking about how the safety of their customers, it's always priority for these guys to come into a point where they are not held responsible for the maintaining the, not for under maintaining, for failing to keep up to the high standards and the safety quality that they preach on Tesco stores, right? So they talk about how they've taken immediate action to address this, and they talk about how they are reassuring the fact that they'll be to their customers, that they'll be back online in terms of robust productions or even procedures, and they say that they will make sure that it doesn't happen again. But honestly, I think only time will tell, right? So for me, honestly, if it's across one store, I think the conversation would be different. But the fact that it's been multiple stores over a period of 14 months, this is pretty serious. I think it's not taken easily. I think, because if it is tested over 3 stores on several occasions, this is slightly, I'd say, it would obviously fit to see that they've done it intentionally, or they've just been ignoring the fact that they've been coming across this story where they've found outdated food, unless the results or the tests have been done on a time where they've been I'd say not on I'd say the tests or the checkups would have been done discreetly, where they didn't know about these tests, or how over the last 14 months these incidents have been found over about the fact that their dates or their food was outdated. I think it's not very respectable on the customer for the first place. And then if it is done intentionally, I don't know, I've honestly lost a lot of respect for these guys. But again, any company seems to have an up and down. What goes up must come down, and what goes down must come up, right? So I'm hoping these guys learn from this, and you just push up again from here, and just learn to maintain. It's such a simple thing. Like, if you're maintaining a store that has anything to do with food or beverages, right, any consumables, it's just a simple matter of understanding when your expiry dates are for your products, and just taking action on the necessary actions. Because for Tesco to come to such a big place, these guys are one of the biggest supermarkets, or one of the biggest stores in the world, rather, not just in the UK, right? So these guys talk about how they preach a lot of home entertainment, if it is clothing, all these items, right? So just to come to a point where, if they are to understand, if it is groceries, if it's clothing, like I said, if it's furniture, banking, mobile, these guys, to come to this point, they for sure should have, they have definitely had some kind of operation that is just maintained on a daily basis, or even a monthly basis, where they understand what products that of theirs are, at least the consumables, right? What products of theirs are actually over mature, or getting outdated, and just a matter of moving them out of the store and replacing them with the new stock. This is Tesco. It's not like it's a supermarket that has opened just in the last couple of weeks or so. So I honestly think these guys should be able to recover from this in terms of discipline, and it's just a matter of taking immediate action, like their spokesperson has said. So talking about the safety of their customers, how it is priority, and then even talking about how these respective standards are basically the quality that they expect at Tesco. So they alone preach this. So it's just a matter of understanding how serious are they about this? How much are they going to actually act on their word, right? This is what consumers are eventually gonna purchase, or invest in when they move down the line, investing in if it is FMD, or if it is anything to do with convenience, anything to do with this could affect their whole brand name, because it's not just food again, right? So my honest opinion is they can take immediate action. They it's good they've basically, their spokesperson has spoken about how they are looking at reassuring their customers that they have a robust procedure and that they make sure that this isn't happening again. Now, I'm gonna be keep. I mean, we can keep updating you on this conversation. There are people that talk about how Tesco is a serious offender in food hygiene, and they have basically failed to meet certain environment, health department standards, and then the staffing levels since 2010 need to be restored. Now, this is just a comment, of a guy called Patrick Newman, but then we can see how far they actually move this conversation up the ladder to move it again into the point that they were, to gain the respect of the customer, basically, right? So, I mean, if you want to have a conversation with me, if you have any comments on this topic, just leave a comment down below. Just share this post, and then we can get a conversation going off this. We can follow this conversation as well. This is Relax Radio. I'm Tim. I'm on the buzz with you all the way till 3 a.m. every day. And if you feel like there's anything around business, tech, entrepreneurship, mindset switch, anything to do with these topics, I'm your host. I'm the guy to talk to on Relax Radio.